everyone. It is Lynette from Charm Grammy at Your Very Crochet. And today is Monday. We're back from the camper, from the campground. And I have some projects that I have completed to show you. I did not get much crochet time at the campground. My my people came over, Amanda and Chloe and a friend, on Friday, and then Saturday. I don't know. It was like busy, but we. So, for those of you that have been around more than a week, you probably know that we bought a second camper that we're going to travel in. We're retiring, my husband and I, uh, in January, and um, we are going to put the house up for sale. We're not going to put the house. We don't know what we're doing, but we're traveling. That is what we do know, and we have a camper that we have permanently parked at a campground, and it's too heavy and too big that we don't want to pull that. His car, he's got an SUV, a Ford Expedition, so it's a big SUV. It will not pull our camper. The camper is built to sleep a lot of people because our kids and grandkids could all come and stay. And we spend our weekends in the summer out there in that particular camper. Well, we want to travel for retirement, and that camper is heavier than what his car can pull. So we purchased a smaller camper a couple of weeks ago, and we got to spend the weekend in the camper for the first time. The new camper. It's smaller, it's cute, it's cozy, it's comfy, except the bed. Oh my goodness, the bed is terrible. We knew that it wasn't going to be comfortable, so we put a memory foam mattress over the mattress that comes. Now, if you are unfamiliar with camper beds, at least the ones that we've seen, you have a platform and then they put a piece of foam on the bed, and that's pretty much your mattress. In our large camper, our old camper, that's an actual, I think it was called a Denver mattress, and they were all, oh, we got you a really nice Denver mattress on this, and we're like, never even heard of it. And it was horrible, and we put a foam mattress over top, memory foam, and it's comfortable. We can sleep on it. Um, this bed, it's maybe this thick, and I think it's just foam, not like memory foam. Then we put the memory foam over top, and it's still like sleeping on a board. Um, so we have to replace that. And we only spent one night in that bed. The girls came and they stayed in the old camper. We camped and we did everything at the old camper. But Roy and I wanted to use the new camper and make sure everything works and see how everything works, see how everything feels, see how we fit in the new camper. And spending the time in there was wonderful. Relieved a great deal of my stress. Um, because we have 2 more weekends of camping, and during that time I have to outfit the new camper for being able to leave and have it pretty much ready to go um, when we retire in January or February, whenever we actually take off. Everything but like liquid products and food I want ready to go in that camper so that I don't have to be, if it's snowy or whatever, we don't have to be loading the camper. And it's an hour's drive away. So, and everything that a lot of the things that I want to put in that camper are already in the other camper. So, um, I'm not going to have 3 hand mixers because I have one in the house and one in the camper and now one in the new camper. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to, condense and use what we have for the most part. Even though I did order a set of pots and pans because I don't cook in the camper. In our older camper, we cook outside all the time. This camper, I think we're going to cook in, so I did order some stackable without handles pots and pans. That you have they're cute. Um, so some things we are having to get new. I'm going to need a lot of tension rods to keep stuff in place when it's in travel mode. And yeah, I was really concerned about where we're going to put everything that we need because we'll be staying in there for extended periods of time. And so you need, enough clothing, enough food, enough yarn. But after spending the weekend in it, or most of the weekend, we slept Saturday night. We went back to our other bed because that bed was uncomfortable. So anyway, long story short, we did get. I got a good feel of where things will fit and how things will fit and how we can survive. Um, and not be over the weight limit because there's a weight limit and all these things you got to think about. And where it's like, oh, don't put that in there. It's too heavy. It's too heavy. Too heavy. He's worried about that. I'm worried about. Wait, we still have to have water. We still need clothes. I still have to have yarn. Roy, you can't say no yarn. That's not happening. But we did get. I think in my brain I've got it pretty much. There's more space in there than for a small unit. There's a lot more storage in it than I thought. There's no dresser, and so I was like, where are we going to put all of our clothes? And then when you really think about it, and I've been watching organizational videos on camping, small camping hacks and stuff like that, small time living and what you do, and really, I have enough clothes for 3 armies if we go by what you need to take when you're like living as a minimalist. And one of the guys in one of the videos said something that really hit home. He said they were organizing or reorganizing their camper after they've lived in it for a while, and things fall out of the cupboards at you when you open them because they have them so overstuffed. And so they were doing the keep and toss thing, and someone had said to them, how many of these 18 pairs of shoes do you really wear? How many of these 96 t-shirts do you really wear? And let's get rid of the ones that you don't. And he said, generally I wear like the same 5 outfits. And I thought to myself, the top things on the stack of clothes, that's what I wear, so, okay, I don't need as many clothes as I thought. And so, anyway, I feel a lot better about that. But probably the next video that you see, I will be at one of the 2 campers. I'm going to go for a couple of days. Roy's staying here because he has to work. But I'm going to go in between therapy sessions and stay a couple of days at the campground during the week, which I've never done. Stayed by myself at the campground. So say a little prayer. But I want to start moving things. And I'm a slow go at that point, But there's a lot of stuff I have to get out of the new camper. Out of the old camper, or bag up or clean up for winter. So we take all the food out, obviously, and bring that home. But like blankets, I keep in bins or I bring home. And they're not necessarily stored in bins in the camper. All the plates and all the plasticware and all of that I put in like grocery bags, the plastic grocery bags, and seal them up because so it doesn't get dirty and mice come in there or whatever. But some of the shelves they can't get to. But they do try to get out of the cold, and every year we get at least one critter that gets into the camper. I don't know how they do, but they do. So that being said, you seal up everything, just in case you get a leak or whatever. And anything that's liquid you have to bring home. So like all my cleaning supplies and stuff like that have to come home. And we give it a real good clean, and just to redo that in the spring. So kind of stupid, but yeah, we still do it. And it's pretty much, then we get everything out of there that we have to protect mostly from freezing and from infestation of critters, which we never get an infestation, but we have had mice or chipmunks in there. You see the remnants of them. And it's just part of what happens when you store a camper and we're by the woods, so that doesn't help. Um, but the new camper won't be stored in the woods, so that might be helpful for it. But I want to get like all my paper products moved over, and um, blankets or whatever that we're going to keep in that camper for when we travel, and I like have all that figured out. So I'm going to do that, or I think I do. In my brain it's figured out. If it actually is figured out, who knows. And then when we close up the camper, you pull the slides in, and you have to flush the tanks and put antifreeze in them and things like that. And then some of our outdoor furniture we bring in and store inside the camper. So that's a pain in the rear end. So we have to do all that. And I want the small new camper to be, when Roy comes on the weekend, he can winterize it. We'll close it up and it'll be ready to go. And then the next weekend, because there's only 2 more weekends, we can do the same with, before we leave, we can do the same with the other camper, and it'll be just ready to go. So that's the plan. So that being said, I will be filming from there, because there will be downtime when I take breaks and stuff, and I'll be by myself. So there'll be a lot, I don't know, a lot of crochet time, but there'll be a lot of chat time. So do you guys finally, want to see what I've been up to? I am so excited. I have 3 finished projects to show you today. I finally finished. This started as the Tunisian blanket I was going to do for Boggy Creek, and I was going to do Tunisian. Lynanne from Nina's Knots Crochet designed a Tunisian blanket for Boggy Creek. And I gave it the good old college try. Oops, I missed one. I missed an end. I searched for those last night. I forgot to clip that off. Okay, so we'll do that. So we'll show you the other side without the end. So I finally finished the remake of the now not Tunisian. And this is a blanket that I made using the pattern from Angela, my precious yarnery. Her campside. It's in the playlist. Boggy Creek is a camp in Houston, Florida for chronically ill children. And they collect blankets, and these blankets are memorabilia for the kids. They get to take the blankets home. There's one blanket on every bed, and they get to choose their own bed, so they get to choose their own blanket that they're taking home as their memory of Boggy Creek. And they're handmade, knitted, and crocheted blankets. They are 35 to 40 inches wide, 40 to 50 inches long, or if you're making a square or a circle or a star, then 40 would be the sweet spot to be, the size. Last year, Nancy, Billie, and I, with the help of the Boggy Brigade, which is all of you who make the blankets, we collected like 1,090 blankets. And this year, for dropping off in 2025, we wanted to fill that truck. And Billie backed off, and we acquired Lynanne and Juan, the yarn addict. And Nancy is from She's Got Yarn too. And we are the Fearsome Foursome, or the Fabulous Foursome, or whatever you want to call us. It is Boggy Creek is our charity of choice for donation, and we appreciate any and all of your help. But this is the next one that I am donating to them. We do have a swag shop. We do have a playlist, because I challenged designers to design a blanket specifically sized for Boggy Creek, for anyone to be able to make, because everyone is always like wanting to make something different, something new. So we have a playlist of Boggy Blanket tutorials, and this one is one that I finished from Angela. I think she has 3 or 4 blankets in there. If you are a designer and you design a blanket and you want to come up on panel, the requirement is that you have to have the blanket designed and a tutorial. If you have a written pattern, that's fine, but we request that you make it free, because we want people to spend their money on making blankets, the yarn, The shipping is, an expense. So we don't want them to have to pay for the blanket pattern. This is for donation for the kids. So this is my newest creation. I love the pattern. It is simple, 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 and it's got a lot of texture. What did I, it's easy, 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 easy. So what did I use? I used 4 skeins of three big twist value in the color ombre sunrise ombre, which is and there's 269 yards or 246 meters, and that's the variegated. And then to fill in, because I only had 3 skeins and it wasn't going to be enough, I used this yellow, which is a Dreamweaver. Doesn't give me a lot of information on it. I got this yarn really inexpensive at a local discount store, and still very sad that they don't sell it anymore. But you would get it in a 2-pack, twin pack, upside down, and they were like $1.69 or something for 2 skeins. And it doesn't give you a lot of information. These are 4.5 ounce skeins. And so I had a half a skein, and I still have a half a skein. So I used 1 skein. So a total of 4 skeins of yarn. These are smaller skeins, but still 4 skeins of yarn. And this is what it looks like. I think it looks great, and I'm real excited about it. And I'm real glad that it's done, because I got, I don't know, 1.5 or 2 skeins in. You know what? I had 1.5 skeins of the ombre in and 1 section of yellow when I decided that the Tunisian, as I got better and faster at it, my stitches got tighter, and it was doing this, and it was doing it a lot. It wasn't something you could fix. So so I just frogged it and did this. And this one is a nice size. It's square. It's not trying to be a trapezoid. So that's one thing. Then we have, don't mind me, I'm bending over to get this. Living in my ice yarns bag is Wipeout Wednesday, which is sponsored by my good friend Lala, Laura from Mimi's Crochet and Farming, and it is the year of dishcloths, and we're making a dishcloth a week for the next year. And we started in the middle of the book, or maybe the end of the book, with the winter collection, which is these ones down here, because the book is divided into seasons. So this is the winter collection. This book is by Annie's Crochet, and you can get it from Annie's, or you can get it on Amazon. It is a very quick. So far, we're on week 3. We just did week 3. So far, they're very fast makes. We have made, I will show you. And she's not going in order. She put numbers, she numbered them and put them, we're going by season, but not in order. So the first one, because that would make it way too easy. People would go ahead. And she said, no. You're not going to know what the next one is. So the first one was the penguin. The second one that she picked out of the hat was the wreath. And the third one that we did, so we get a new one in 2 days, but this is the third one, and this is Rudolph. This is all kitchen cotton yarns, different kitchen cotton yarns, mostly Premier, I think, some sugar and cream. These are sparkle. Wait, let's see. This is sparkly. This is Premier in the blue. I did it. The picture shows his eyes being black, but Lynn Como did her eyes blue. And I'm like, oh, I like the blue eyes so much better. So I copied. She said I could. And so I did his eyes blue. They're not perfect, but it's a washcloth, so we don't really care that much. And then he's got a sparkly nose, too. I had Premier Home Cotton was on sale once. I think they were $3. And you got, let me grab one out of here. You got this big skein for $3. I got a couple in blue. I've got red and green. So you're going to see these a lot over the Christmas, at least over Christmas, because I have a lot of these colors. I mean, big skeins of them. I don't know what the next one is. We won't know until Wednesday when she does her slideshow. So there's no prize or anything. This is just a crochet along for crocheting along. Then you'll have 52 washcloths at the end. They're kind of funky looking washcloths, but they're still washcloths. I think my daughter is stealing them for gifts. That's what she said. She's not seen any of them in person, or probably she doesn't watch my videos, so she hasn't seen any of them. She doesn't know that they're done. But she talked about what great gifts they would be. So, like, I think using Rudolph with these antlers and actually trying to wash your dishes or your bum would be a real pain in the rear end. Like, they're just going to be in the way. The antlers and the ears. But if you wanted to lay it on your table and set stuff on it, you could do that too. Or you could just hang it up on the wall. I don't know. But I don't care. They're fun to make. None of them have taken very long. Probably an hour or hour and a half, depending on how fast you crochet and read the pattern and figure it out. The patterns have been easy to follow so far. So I'm enjoying it very much. She's calling it hashtag Wipeout Wednesday because they're washcloths, wipe out. Real cute. And she picks the next washcloth next Wednesday. So tune in. We're only 3 in. If you want to join us, she does do a slideshow. Send her a picture and your washcloths will be in the slideshow. As I said, there's no prize or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's just for fun and for washcloths. Oh, I'm going to take a little station break here and say, what am I wearing? This is my beautiful shawl from Sam from Manfa's Makes. Her Mike crocheted this for me, and I love it. I totally love it. And I don't get to wear it as often, but it's a little chilly in the air, and I thought, I get to wear this today. And since I'm wearing very neutral, it will go, and I'm so excited. It's been summer, so it's been sitting here waiting for me to be able to wear it. Now, finally, I have a mess. So let's talk about this. I'm making Luck of the Draw, Boggy Creek Edition. This is Luck of the Draw 9, Boggy Creek Edition. And it is being sponsored by Trish, Mama Swift. And all these channels will be linked in my description box, along with a couple of Boggy Creek videos, a tumbleweed video on how to make the pom-pom necklace that they use as a help in teaching the children kindness, which is a whole nother story, but a good one. Every time they see someone doing something kind, they take a piece off of their necklace and sew it to the string of their friend's necklace or their kid that they saw doing something nice. And at the end of the week, they want to have more strings around than they have pom-pom. So that's a really cool thing. Anyway, so there's a tutorial on how to make those. So let's see, what else do we got in there? We have a swag shop. All proceeds go to Boggy Creek. It is the Boggy Blanket Brigade swag shop. My t-shirt still hasn't arrived. I think I need to check on that. So anyway, Tricia has decided to host, and Nan from Nan's Next Knots was generous enough to allow her to host Boggy Creek Edition Luck of the Draw number 9. So with Luck of the Draw, this was started during COVID when everybody was locked in and needing something to do. You take a main color. Mine is this big, huge mound of black yarn that was a Dreamweaver yarn, and it's a mess. It's falling apart little by little because it doesn't have a band on it, and I keep moving it around. So I'm trying to be really careful with it so it doesn't end up in a huge knot. which it's going to at some point. I'm already prepared for that. And then you're supposed to choose 8 different colors, and you number them. And each week there's a number in. Trisha's using a baseball cup, and she pulls that number, and that's the yarn that you use. I used 4 colors of yarn, so that because this is only a limited time, it's only 10 weeks. 10 weeks, and so each of my colors has 2 numbers, and whatever number she draws is the number that you use, is the color that you use that week. So enough said about that. Week number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, this was week number 1. This was week number 2. This is week number 3. Week number 4. Week number 5. And now week number 6, I finally got the orange. So I was so excited to get the orange in there because it's the first time that color has 2 numbers and the first time either of those 2 numbers were used. Trish was saying that none of the numbers have been duplicated, but because my colors each have 2 numbers, I have a couple of colors that were duplicated, which is completely fine. That's what I wanted. Use up the whole skein of yarn instead of just one section of it. I'm doing, this is a 2-row repeat, and I'm doing 5 rows of each color. This is Trisha's pattern. It is the log cabin. I always say it wrong. Mama Swift made this pattern. Fireside cabin. It's in the playlist in the bottom, in the description box below this video. Hit the more button and the playlist will come up. This is Trisha Swift's pattern, and the tutorial was done by Juan the Yarn Addict. He has 2 tutorials in there, I think. One is this squiggly wiggly blanket, and the other is this one. It's a great pattern. It's real easy to do. I'm doing 7 rows a week, so that is 2 rows of black and 5 rows of the color. So now I'm ready for the color next week. On Thursday, Luck of the Draw comes out. We have 4 more weeks to go. And I'm sure that my blanket will be a good enough size. If not, I'll add more rows or a border or whatever it takes. I think it's turning out really cute. Now you can see all the colors, I think. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. It's so bright and cheery. These blankets for the kids are, they gravitate apparently to the bright colors. And, these are sick kids, so having a blanket that is cheerful is probably a good thing. But, they take them from ages 6 through 17. So, there's some 17-year-old kids that might not want, even 16 or 15-year-olds that might not be into the bright colors. More subdued, whatever. So any color combination is good. But this year we're kind of focusing more on brighter colors, because they're more fun. So anyway, we do ask that you don't use animal fibers, because kids might be allergic. They're already ill. We don't want to add allergies to the mix. And they're kids, and they're getting these in a park-like setting. Then they're going to be dragged on the ground and in the dirt. And, we want them to be highly washable. These are sick kids. They're probably throwing up on them at some point. And there's, it's their forever memory or one of their forever memories of Camp Boggy Creek and their time there. And it might be the only time they get to go to camp. So we want a blanket that's durable to stand the test of time, and not make them sick with allergies. So we ask that you use non-animal fibers and real washable stuff. And by the way, Big Twist is really washable and dryable, even though it says lay flat to dry. I dry all the time. So there's that. It's acrylic. These are all Big Twist colors except for the pink. And, well, the black is I don't know what. That's the Dreamweaver. The others are, the pink is Michael's yarn. Michael's, isn't that Craft Smart Michael's? And I think it's called Neon Pink. And the yellow, or the orange is Big Twist. Varsity Orange. The green, this is the, I think it's the Gecko. Yeah, this is the Gecko green, not the slime green. And this is Varsity Yellow? Safety Yellow. So that's the colors that I am using, if you were interested in that. Oh, yeah, that's my color list. Okay. So I think I have blabbered on enough. It's going to be a busy week. My next, so when I go to the camper during the week this week, for those couple of days, my plan is to do a lot of work, but that means a lot of walking and bending and lifting, and I'm kind of really out of shape, more than I'm already out of shape since the knee surgery, and laying around for so long. So I'll be taking a lot of breaks, and I am going to be working on my syrup project. I think I'm going to take that. I have it hooked up to Wool Genies, and I have to hank of yarn still. So the syrup project is hashtag SRYP, which is where syrup comes from, but it's the Special Reserve Yarn Project that Lynanne and I have challenged. It was going to be each other to use some of your specialty yarns that you received, or you purchased them, somebody gave them to you, you had kits like Knit Crate that you didn't make the project. And so you have these specialty yarns, and you looking for the special project that never shows up. So we picked yarn, and then we picked our own yarn, and then we were going to pick each other's project. Well, then other people wanted to get involved when they heard about it. So there's like 10 of us that are doing the syrup project. And we went live and talked about it with the other people. And then some of the subscribers said they wanted to join in, and they sent us pictures of their specialty yarn that they wanted to use. And we picked out patterns for them. I hope it's all going well with your syrup projects. Mine is doing fine. I started it. I'm making a scarf that it says I have enough yarn for, but I don't know that I do. For like a 15-row repeat, I think they said repeat the pattern 15 times or something. And then make fringe. I don't think I have enough. I feel like I'm through half of one of my skeins. I had 3 skeins, 2 in, and they're on Wool Genies, and they're attached to the project, and I can't move all that. But I have gone through, I have 2 solid colors and 1 variegated, and the variegated is just, I'm using that for a little section of single crochets. I feel like I've gone through a third of that. And then the solid color wasn't as much yardage in each, but I had 2, and I feel like I'm already a quarter of the way through that. I'm like, and I've only got like 2 or 3 sections done. So I'm like, it might be a cowl. The stitch pattern is still good, and if I just join it at the back, it'll be a cowl. So that depends on how long it actually ends up. But that's fine. The yarn has wool in it. So far, it's not been bothering me to work with it. But it's yarn that my daughter gave me, so I'm pretty sure she'll end up with this anyway. And she doesn't seem to have wool allergies, so that's awesome. And it doesn't have they're 100% merino, I think, or except the one is merino and alpaca. And so if I'm, anyway, that's that. And the other project that I'm going to be concentrating on now is to finally finish my Cat's Meow, which I'm about a third of the way through, or a quarter. Not as far as I should be, because it should be done by now. But there's a lot to doing that. You get a lot of bobbins going on in there, and so it's not easy to transport, and you have to have the space and brain power to count and work with all those skeins attached at one time, or bobbins, or however you're doing it. So I keep putting it off and doing something else. Oh, in my boho bag. So I was, like I said, at the campground, and we slept in that camper, and we realized that the windows are tinted black, but you can still see in when the lights are on. You can see in. The doors do not have any type of blind or curtain or shade in them, but they have clear glass, well, tinted, black tinted glass windows, but they're not like you can see in. One of the doors is in the bedroom. That's not good. So, they sell shades made for the windows, and I was originally thinking that I would just make curtains and put them on tension rods and put them in the windows on the doors, and that way I could raise or lower them. But the setup is so silly. I'll just go with silly. There's a big, huge screen door, full door screen. The screens do not raise or lower. So if you open the main door and just have the screen door open so that you can, get the breeze from the doors being open, you can't get to the window in the main door because the screen is in the way. And so in order to raise or lower a shade or a curtain, you have to stand on the stairs, open the main door, and leave the screen door shut. So you have to be outside to do it. So if you come in and you want to get ready for bed, and you forget to do that on your way in, like open or close the shade, then you have to go back outside. If it's raining and if it's been raining all day and you've been inside and you've had the window shades up so you get the light in, then you have to go stand outside in the rain. I'm like, because I'm not going to sew the curtains. I think I'm going to put the shades in, and I'm probably particularly in the bedroom, the shade's going to be down all the time. In the living room, it'll probably be up most of the time. But if we have company or whatever, then we'll need to be able to close it. So instead of making all kinds of cute little curtains, I'm not going to do that. So while I am here today or tomorrow, I want to make the insert to go inside my boho bag so I can finish that up. And sew the really cute strap on it and then put the fringe. So that is something that I want to get done today or tomorrow. But I have packing to do too, so we'll see how that goes. I really want to get it done though, so I'm going to try to make an effort to get some packing done, which is what I'm doing as soon as I get done with this video, and laundry. And then if I take a break, I'll pull out the sewing machine and make my insert for my bag, sew that in with the handle, and then I can put the fringe on. So maybe the next video we'll have a finished boho bag. Maybe not if I don't get the sewing machine out. But I wasn't going to do that until I knew if I was making curtains, because I would do it all at the same time. I ordered the blinds. They should be here today. We slept in there, and the sun came in, and my poor husband was up with the sun. And I said, that's it. We're ordering a blind for that window. And then we spent some time in the living room, kitchen area. It's all one area there. And it was raining. And I'm like, we're just going to put the shade in there. And still, to curtain or shade, you would still have to go do the same process. You have to stand outside to raise or lower the shade. But at least then they would match on both sides of the camper. And it'll just be in there, and I don't have to worry about it. So that's where we're going. And so now all the sewing that I need to do is strictly sewing the insert for the boho bag, and including the handle. And I did want to machine sew that because hand stitching would probably take longer than getting out the fabric and the sewing machine and doing all whatever it requires to sew. That'll take longer than hand sewing. Plus, machine sewing the handle on, I think, is a safer bet as far as it staying and not falling apart. So that is a project I hope to get done, because I want to take it to Florida in a couple of weeks when I go to Sarasota with Billy and all the peoples that are going there. I want to be able to take that bag with me. Okay, so those are the projects I'm going to be concentrating on. These are the projects that are done and or completed for now, as far as the really pretty Boggy Creek blanket goes. But this will be done in a couple of weeks. And that's all I have for you today. Hopefully, I will do some filming at the camper. Maybe show you how things are going with organization skills. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of those wonderful things. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.